Hi, I might sound a little bit different. Because I did a thing. I did. And it's kind of because I did another thing years ago and it never fixed it. So, we're back with more Dunsparce. I hope I'm coming in somewhat clearly. I need to still tweak this a little bit, I think. Maybe just a little bit. It's also picking up just the static a little bit, I think. The air conditioner's running, the fan's going on the laptop now. It's gonna sound kind of bad. Well, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. I'll probably still need to tweak it a little bit for the future, but I might have fixed the problem that I accidentally did. I'll explain in greater detail in a minute, but first off, apparently, you can make the Pokemon you bring out that normally runs around with you, you can just make them stop moving. I instructed the mole to stop. And now you just be there. You can tell them to stay. I did not know you can do this until I was like, okay, let's just. I think what I was trying to do was I had him here ish, and I pressed in the stick because I think that's how you sneak. And then I whistled at him, and he stopped. So now he's just like a statue. I did not know you could do this. And then I can make him stop. And now he's going to follow me again. I did not know this was a thing you could do. And whenever we stop him, you stop him so that way, no matter where he's standing, he will always face towards you. So, like, right now he's facing that way. Now he's facing me. And he won't move. I did not know this was a thing until just now. And I feel a little bit ridiculous. I don't know if this has been a thing since the game launched or if I'm just an idiot. But it's a thing you can do. I probably would have found out about this so much sooner if the game came with a physical manual, but to be fair, I got the digital version, so I wouldn't have had that anyway. But the game doesn't tell you these things. And plus, I don't have to rely on him going to sleep in order to keep him still anymore. If I ever want to do more crazy shots like that. Which, you know, I did a thing. Also, the mole was a female. Whoops. It seems I have forgotten some aspects about my Indigo Disc team. Oh well! Not like it matters that much, it's a virtual mole. Anyway, we're gonna get started here. So, what am I doing? I can do this so much more simply, I think. Oh god, I forgot the recipe and it's only been like 2 months. Oh god. I think fillets were in it. At least one. But I don't remember. I might just go back to the old hamburger recipe just to make sure I get it. Because I don't remember anymore. Hang on. We're gonna be doing this for a little while anyway. I think it's fine that we look this up. Alright. Pokemon Violet Sun Mini sandwich. Here we go. Mini sandwich. And don't hit backspace instead of the enter button. Aren't iPhones fun? Aren't they fun? Okay, let's see. Game 8. Your info's a little bit iffy at times, but I think I can deal. This one's saying use tofu with salty and sour specifically, which does give me an out for those. So if I check here, you may notice I have a lot of sours, and I need to actually use those eventually. I've gotten a few Herba Mystica since the last time we've done this, because I've been keeping up with the Tarot raid events as of late. The Annihilate one was actually really funny, and I'll talk about that one a little bit as well, if I don't forget. This one has this. There's a recipe version with cucumber and pickle and 3 servings. Where's like the super optimal one? See, this was mentioning chorizo. I didn't use that last time. I used a filet last time, I think. Why are there so many different combos that lead to the same thing? This is not a solved science, clearly. Where was that one filet one that I found before that was, like, absolutely perfect? So I could have sworn... Yeah, here we go. This was mentioned in the filet. So I was right. There was one for filet. I have to use salties for it, though. Ooh. It does always be sours, but once we're out of salty, then I'm kind of screwed, aren't I? I think most of the very simple recipes use... Oh boy. Okay, well, I can work with this for now. This should at least be enough for this stream, and then I can figure something out for any future ones, as long as I don't forget, and I probably will. So... Is it just one serving? I assume it's just one. He's not mentioning more than one. I mean, we could try. So one fillet, have to have a salty. And then we could do any of those except for bitter. We can't do bitter. I guess sour will work. I'll give you a gold pick. And then if everything works, I just put the fillet on here, ditch the bread, put it in the pick. The bread still counted. I don't think that bread should count. Ooh, the ghost bread floating in the abyss. It's still part of your sandwich! Or something, I don't know. I am very confused now. You're not even touching anything! How are you doing that? Whatever, it worked. As long as it works, I don't care. Alright, so, the goal is, get Dudunsparce. And then, that's it. And we're gonna be doing this for a while, baby. Alright, so, things have definitely happened as of late. I think I'll start with talking about the mic scenario, and I will repeat this if Vic shows up. So I can get a proper, I guess, judgment call. So, long story short, back when I first got this capture card, and at least a couple years before I started streaming here, I wanted to get a capture card so I could play games from my Switch and put them on the internet, and people would like it. That was the whole thing. I tried recording a little bit of Mario Odyssey, not using OBS, but using Elgato's built-in thing, I think, which is not optimized in the slightest. And then I gave up. Not to mention there was one point where, even though there was no storage space, the capture thing just stopped inexplicably. I don't know why. So I just dropped the whole subject and never looked back. Until I started streaming, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have a capture card. I can do things. So I did. But one thing I did... Oh, hey, Vix. Perfect timing. So, long story short, when I was doing those test recordings of Mario Odyssey for the Let's Play that never was, I turned my microphone down to around, like, 20-something. And it was just left there. I never changed it. I don't think there were any complaints when I would talk in Discord, and I've been able to account for it well enough in OBS, I guess. Albeit with the weird, cut-off, pop-in issue thing that I apparently have had that Wanya brought up. I assume it wasn't a huge deal. But the reason why I even changed the setting nowadays to begin with is because for the last few weeks, at least weekly, there would always be some viral tweet where they'd be like, hey, did you know that Windows makes your mic sound like ass? Go into the settings and make that, like, clarity bullshit turn off and go back to using normal mic stuff. And it works and everyone's happy. And they also say, like, oh, you might have your mic turned down. Like a weird volume. And people have noticed, like, wait a minute, yeah, my mic was at, like, 40-something. What the hell? So, earlier this week, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna check it myself. Now that Piku Niku's done, and since we're doing this first in the week, I figured, like, hey, this would be a perfect time to test to make sure it's all working okay. And my mic was super low, apparently. I have since turned it up. But that means that it would be inputting louder in OBS. So instead of it being minus 6.6 decibels before, now it's minus 11.6. To counteract it being kind of, like, loud now. And I assume it sounds better. Still picks up, like, staticky stuff from, like, the background audio, having an air conditioner in it every now and again, because it's the middle of freaking summer. Maybe not the middle of summer anymore, it's definitely closing to the end, but you get the point. But I don't know if my mic actually sounds any better, or if it sounds more just off. I don't know. All I know is I changed the setting, and now my mic's at, well, input-wise, max volume. Output-wise, it's even less than before to counteract. So I don't know if it's overall fixed stuff. This might be why it's it did the way, like, cut off stuff before, where there'd be times where I start talking, it kind of, like, pops for a second, it cuts off with the first, like, third of a second, and it sounds really choppy and weird. That might be why that was happening, because of some internal thing being like, oh, the input's too low. Guess there's nothing of importance for her to cut that out. And it just stops accepting input until I get loud enough again. Which, you know, talking does that. And then it gets all like, oh, you're awake, okay, we're going. And it's really funny, I suppose. But then again, Wanya said it was never a problem in Discord, so I don't even know. So, hopefully I sound fine. Hopefully I sound better. As good as a built-in laptop mic from, like, 2018's concerned. So, I guess it's better now. If what the people online said is to be believed, this is an improvement. And it possibly solved the problem that really shouldn't have been happening in the first place. Or maybe I'm insane and maybe I shouldn't just trust people on the internet. I don't know. But, you know, technology can be kind of fickle sometimes. I'm just trying to work with what I got. Ain't that just the way? Anyway, speaking of technological funniness, I had to compare televisions personally, but that could just be even having to work with audio in a hot minute. Fair enough. If you can't tell, then that means that at least I've made it more balanced to where it was before. So, like, nothing's really changed, which I feel like is good. It means I didn't break everything. I'm not like that one video where the guy's audio drivers crashed or broke entirely during Fortnite, so he sounds like an alien bashing a PVC pipe. that video sometimes pops up on my feed, and it always makes me laugh because it's just so dumb. so stupid. How does technology even do that? How did the drivers break that badly? I don't know. It's funny, but like, you know, not ideal when you're trying to do voice chat. Anyway, I forgot how large Dudunsparce's hitbox is. I don't know why it's so big. It just is. So, anyway, as I was about to say, I've been doing the current Terra Raid events because they're still doing new ones in this game for some reason. I'm surprised by it. And fairly recently, we had the Annihilate one. It was actually kind of a pain in the ass. I usually copy builds I get online, but the builds were very, like, dependent on certain factors. I tried a Farigiraf build I saw that was supposedly one of the best, and it's like, you have to have an Intimidate user on the team, which is random, and you have to make sure you use the freaking skill swap immediately, or else it's going to keep getting contrary buffs, or defiant buffs, or whatever. Basically, we keep buffing its attack instead. And that's bad, because Annihilate's already pretty attack-heavy to begin with. And you should do this whole thing where you have to kind of stall it out, and you have to use, like, 3 nasty plots and 3... there's some other move, I forget. Intermittently using heal choose and hoping the RNG doesn't kick your ass, and it's like, I tried it, I hated it, and I reset the game to get my stuff back because I trained up for a giraffe for that. I'm never doing that again. Another build had me use Hisuian Zoroark, which originally was an event thing, but people have bred it so many times and brought theirs in from Legends RCS that's not hard to get, really. Now I've had a few just kind of sitting around. So I built one of those. And the whole deal is that you have Shadow Ball on it, which you're kind of using just to get your Terra meter built up. But you're not going to be relying on it too much, I think. Because it has a chance to lower special defense, and that would make the Annihilate buff itself again, because we're not swapping the abilities out anymore. And then, with that, once that's charged up, you use 1 nasty plot. The guide said 2, but 1 was definitely enough for me. And you'd have Hex on it with Will-O-Wisp, because your plan is to kind of slowly break the shield, because it's a very small shield that, you know, goes off early, which is very simple. So you break the shield down pretty quickly, so that we can actually use Will-O-Wisp. But my team also had a Belly Bolt on it, which just has a chance to paralyze. So the Annihilate was paralyzed as the shield went down. So what I did was, I had 1 nasty plot. Again, the guide said try to get 2 before the shield goes down, but I didn't. And I was very low on health, and I was not going to rely on a heal cheer, so I'm like, okay. The thing's paralyzed. I have 1 nasty plot currently going. So I buff my stats a little bit. So really, I should at least do enough to fully heal me, right? Hex, if you aren't aware, I believe is 70 base power. That power doubles whenever the opponent has a status effect. I was also using Stellar Terra typing, which meant that all of my moves would get the type bonus. The actual Stellar type bonus without changing my actual typing itself. So I still couldn't get hit by ghost moves because Hisuian Zoroark is a normal type. While also benefiting from the stab from Hex, because it's a ghost type move. And of course it's super effective on the Ghost Terra Annihilate. Needless to say, that Annihilate went from around 80% health down to 1 pixel. Then it proceeded to use all of its, repeated turn, bullshit, trickery, freaking stupid crap, basically just demolishing the Zoroark. I come back, one of the freaking computer team members just slaps it, takes it out, and I catch the thing, and it was really funny. Because that was not something that even was a potential thing of happening in the guide. So, they didn't account for the belly bolt thing. I guess once the shoe was down, you were just meant to set up Will-O-Wisp yourself, so that way you would have the status, but I was just set to go. So, that's fun. So it went from one of the more infuriating ones to being kind of a freebie. And I find it super hilarious that it just worked out. Do I have sandwich power? Yeah, okay, I do. You can see I was skill swap tagged. I think I had tagged for another build prior to that Giraffe Rig one I tried, which also uses skill swap strat. I forget what that was for. I just never turn it off. So yeah, that went well. It was a very funny turn of events. And I think I just got incredibly lucky. Also, I think there may have been some debuffs in there from some of the opponent's moves. And the Annihilate just wasn't able to hit me very hard, even with the attack buffs it got from Defiant or whatever. So, it still worked out, I guess. I can't be mad. It also helps that its main thing is close combat, which would be kind of neutralized by my typing. That's kind of a big... Anyway. Well, now that all the opening topics are done, I guess now it's time to get into the meat of the whole thing. So, you may remember, at the end of last stream, or over the course of the last couple Pikoniki streams, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do in the future? I have stuff like Minecraft Story Mode, that'd be funny. I could play some Mega Man stuff. I don't want to do this twice in a row because I don't think I can carry a conversation that well for 2 whole days. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do Mega Man 7 or something. Completely forgetting about the fact that Gamescom was happening. And that Capcom was gonna do a thing for Mega Man. So we got a new trailer for Dual Override. Holy shit. A new trailer and a local demo if you're at the event. And I think we're about to have the biggest Mega Man game in the Classic series. I don't know how it's going to compare to something like the Legends games. It's definitely not going to be as long as the RPGs. But it's a pretty hefty game from what I could tell. Because normally, the standard level structure for Mega Man is that you'd have the 8 Robot Masters, and then you'd have 4 to 8 endgame levels depending on how many castles they want to put in the thing. Because sometimes they fake out thinking like, oh, Proto Man's the real villain, so he has his own castle in Mega Man 5, and nope, it wasn't him. It was Wily. Again. Are you surprised? They just kept doing that shit. But instead, for Dual Override, now there's 3 levels per Robot Master. The first one ends with a mini-boss. Kind of similar to typical mini-bosses you see in a Mega Man game. Usually like some larger enemy. The second is a returning Robot Master being duplicated. And the third one's the actual proper Robot Master fight where you get the special weapon and all that typical Mega Man fare. So that means instead of the typical 8 stages at the start, there's gonna be 24. And like, wow, that's a lot. And we don't know how long the Wily Castle's gonna be. So we might be at this for a while, definitely. And the first comeback Robot Master that showed off was Astro Man from Mega Man 8 and Mega Man in Base. And Mega Man actively calls them out for showing up again. You're a copy of Astro Man? They brought you back a third time? He's actively super annoyed about it, which is really funny. But yeah, they're bringing back a lot of the old Robot Masters. So they've revealed one. They revealed one of the special weapons, so we're possibly getting a Jetman of some sort. And we have Twinkle Girl, who is a fireworks-themed Robot Master. And I don't know how to put this in a way without going absolutely crazy and probably breaking the mic. But I think Dual Override is set to be my favorite in the whole series. So, it's a good sign. Of course, I haven't played it yet, but it seems that in terms of gameplay, it's pretty close to Mega Man 11, just with a weird chip system. Which seems kind of like the upgrade systems of past Mega Man games, just a lot more customizable. One of the chip strip gives you, like, the hover boots from the 4th armor in X4. You can make a little, like, 8-bit Mega Man decoy, you can dash through enemies, like, in Mighty Number 9. It's like, holy crap. Like, Mega Man is super customizable in this. So, like, it's gonna be super fun just to play around with all the different combos you can get. But yeah, since Astro Man was the first repeat to be shown off, I think next stream's gonna be Mega Man 8. Honestly. Because, like, that's where Astro Man first came from. Makes sense. Gives me a little something to do, and then I gotta figure out something to start in September. I'll figure something out. I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. I'm gonna try not riding around on Maridon, because I don't know if things are despawning or spawning incorrectly. I think we were just running around before like this. So things had time to properly spawn in. It's been 2 months, and I've forgotten how to do this whole thing. Go me. Go me. Also shown off was Persona 4 Revival. Again, it was in like 6 months. It continues to get advertised like it releases in a week. Isn't that just hilarious? Marketing's a fickle thing. I did hear that GTA 6 got its extended look, and it is not looking good. Like, yeah. You think for something that's effectively going to cost $80 for the quote-unquote base game, $100 for the actual proper base game. Because that's how they're dividing it up. On PS5, the game's locked at 30, and it still stutters. There's still noticeable stuttering issues. Rockstar keeps getting the controversy after controversy with this game. This is already after the game's been delayed, like, what, twice? And of course, the ball and gun gamers are eating it all up, and they're gonna ruin the game industry for all of us. Granted, I do think there needs to be some sort of shake-up in the industry, considering the fact that Sony's allowed to go around and do its bullshit. But I didn't think it would die off like this, with them effectively being enabled. Stupid. Absolutely freaking stupid. I just hope GTA 6 doesn't get its money back, but it probably will. Probably will, and we're gonna have to suffer for it. We're never gonna own our games again because they're gonna use this president to get rid of discs forever, and we're fucked. Sony's already admitted they're gonna steal your shit if you don't touch it for a year, or whatever. And they might just take it anyway because rights might run out, and then you just don't own it anymore. They're not gonna give you a refund over it. Say what you want about Nintendo, but there's no way in hell they're anywhere near as bad as Sony right now. Like, at all. They make some questionable decisions, and some of the things people get on about are, you know, quite reasonably iffy, but can't be worse than Sony. The GTA. I've never really played a GTA game. I was already not caring about the game to begin with. And then everything I hear about it just makes it worse. So, you know, I'm definitely not getting the game. And if I did, it would probably make some piece of technology in this freaking place just... I don't know, some fire would probably start because the fans won't be able to keep up, and then the fucking CPU freaking goes on fire trying to process it and it can't. Remember when games were actually able to be optimized? Remember? It just seems like GTA 6 is gonna be a massive dumpster fire. And it's still gonna end up successful. It's gonna end up like Pokemon, I think. Where, like, Scarlet and Violet, they're bad. These games, this is not a good game. The Switch 2 version kind of fixes some of it, but, like, not really. Not really. It's a band-aid more than anything. And yet, I think this is the best-selling generation in Pokemon's history because everything on Nintendo Switch sells. So, like, I'm not surprised. I just feel like GTA 6 is going to be in that similar window where, because of its hype around it existing, and the fact these ball and gun gamers who are so petty playing like nothing but consumer slop, I guess I can call it, where it's just companies being super greedy with microtransactions and yearly releases, freaking FIFA and NBA, freaking yearly games that are like no different. They like cut out the features and online, so you have to buy the whole game in $60 again the following year, and it's scummy. It's fucking scummy. It's ruining gaming for the rest of us! But yeah, I feel like... I just have to hope that GTA 6 flops, but it's not gonna. I don't think it is. Like, the controversy isn't gonna matter, and we're gonna have to pay the price. And there's nothing we can do. I'm as disappointed as you. interest in it, so I don't give it any of my attention. That's fair. The thing is, I only hear about it because of all of the controversy. Because there's a point where you just can't avoid these sorts of things. Especially when there's some new controversy about it, like, every other week. Like, I want to say, like, there are leaks going around, and then Rockstar's trying to subpoena, like, Discord servers and shit, and violate privacy and all that. Just from people who are just typical GTA fans at a fan Discord that have nothing to do with the leaks. Their privacy is being breached. It's like, what the fuck? It's a whole nightmare scenario. I'm just like, this is just not a good look. This is not a good look at all. There's just some kind of controversy around Rockstar like every other month, it feels like now. It just keeps looking worse for them. So it's just like, God, this is like the biggest gaming dumpster fire I've ever seen. I'm just sitting there being like, what the fuck, you know? Like, just like you, not really my type of game anyway. Like, I wasn't gonna buy it regardless. Definitely not now. It's just a major disaster. Do I need to bring up the fact that the extended look was on fucking Netflix? Instead of doing it at Gamescom like other companies are doing, it probably was still on the show more than anything. Or instead just doing their like own separate trailers or something. No, you gotta put it on the paid streaming service that has next to nothing to do with gaming outside of a few mobile apps. Because yes, I would love to play a specific version of Sonic Dash exclusively using characters from Sonic Prime. That seems like a good use of my friggin' time and money. Despite the fact all those characters are also just in the base version of Sonic Dash you can play for free, but okay! A good comparison. Imagine if the next Pokemon announcement was on Disney Plus, because Disney has the broadcast rights to the anime, and that would make totally good business sense, right? They wouldn't do a Pokemon Presents or anything, or they would do it. It would be exclusive to that streaming service. It wouldn't be on YouTube or anything. Like that's how stupid the idea of putting the extended look on Netflix is. Like that's how it comes off. My sandwich run out. Like immediately after I checked it. I don't think I saw a shiny. Well, this is a good start, ain't it? One last look around, but I don't think we're gonna see one. What a start. What a friggin' start. It's bound to happen, I suppose. Alright, reset. You may notice I have my controls rebound there. I nearly accidentally lost a Terra Raid event because I fat-fingered the L button. Because on the Joy-Cons, the L and R buttons, the bumpers, extend way further down than I think they really should be. So like the side of, like, when I put my hands on the controller, sometimes like the side, the inner part of my index finger might just like graze it, And because they're, like, thin buttons, it doesn't take much to actually press them. You can press R for a little comparison. Pretty easy to press. Just like... I'm sliding my finger, like, you can't see it. I'm holding the controller out at arm's length, and I'm kind of grazing the R button with my hand. I'm kind of like rubbing my hand kind of lightly on the edge of the controller, with a little grip. I'm not even pressing it hard, kind of like a gentle rub, and I keep hitting the button. That's what happened. I had to quickly kill the game to make sure I didn't lose a terror rate event because it was connecting. I had to stop it in its tracks. Luckily, I did. So, that was funny. But yeah, that was an issue. Not to mention, that's the same reason why I have a problem with shake tricking in Mario Kart. Because, similar thing. Where I have my hands resting, I might shake and accidentally use a mushroom. And it's a problem. It's an absolute problem. Doesn't matter so much if I, graze the R button in that scenario because I'm already doing a freaking jump anyway. I'm freaking tricking. But no, I might sometimes, like, shake, and then, like, that same part of the next finger might just hit the L button, and suddenly, boop, there goes a mushroom, run ruined, reset. Isn't that great? So I just turn the fucking button off. The L button doesn't do anything anymore. We're not missing anything, because, like, all it's doing is that in the little menu, it connects to online. When you're playing the game normally, it centers the camera behind you. That's it. That's all the L button does. I am missing nothing. I mean, it makes navigating the box a little bit more difficult, but, like, there's an all boxes button, so I can scroll like a traditional menu. So who cares? It's not that big of a problem anyway. That's the one problem I have with these freaking Joy-Cons, is the fact that the L and R buttons are just way too damn long. They did not need to be this long. Like, I understand why it's like this, because it's kind of trying to line up with the triggers. Because where the L button ends is where the ZL button also ends. So it's kind of like one big button divided down the middle, horizontally. But that just means that there's this extra space the L button takes up that doesn't need to be there and only serves to cause misinputs. And I hate it. My Pro Controller doesn't do that because it's shaped like a typical L button. Not to mention the general shape of the controller means I'm not resting my hand on that exact high point. So I'm not fat fingering the L button by accident. And it keeps happening! Makes doing time trials in Whistle Stop Summit a pain in the ass. I hate it! I hate it so much! So I turn the button off. So frickin' annoying. Anyway, how are you doing? I'm just trying to keep things together, apparently. I guess it's called the Crazy Taxi Festival has started in Sonic Racing. I don't know if I'm gonna grind it up too much. I generally try for top 1,000. Sometimes I don't make it. Like, there were a couple I didn't make it. I think the Tangle and Whisper one I didn't do it, and then and unfortunately, I was hoping I could, but I didn't get it on the anniversary one, which makes me a little sad. But then again, I'm also still just rocking I think it's the one you get for getting the win streak going for the Sonic anniversary one. So, like, I don't care that much. It's just like a little extra thing. But then we recently had the Ninja Turtles one, and I guess, like, nobody wanted anything to do with it. Because I nearly got top 500, getting basically the same point total I usually get. So what the hell? Either nobody bothered to play that festival, or everyone just dipped after getting the decals and never looked back. Because, like, it wasn't even a challenge to get top 1,000. I nearly got the top 500. So, like, bruh. I think the Crazy Taxi one's probably gonna get a little bit more, like, general play. Maybe because that one's a free DLC thing, so it's not gonna add a new track, and people aren't gonna get sick of it. But, like, I don't know. At the same time, I don't know. I expect there to be more competition than, like, the Ninja Turtle one. Which you'd think would do more, but then again, it's based off of the newest iteration of the Turtles, which has had a time. And by the time that collab even happened, like, they wrapped up that whole entire thing. It got canceled after 2 seasons. It had a movie to start. And I think the last thing they did for it in terms of actual, like, you know, watching it, I think is a theatrical short before the latest SpongeBob movie, where Donatello learns that AI is bad. And that's it. And I think it was also a Christmas thing as well. It was like a Christmas special, technically. So at this point, like, Viacom, Nickelodeon, they're already moving on from it. I think it's because a lot of people were just moving on from the get-go. It did have quite the controversy, given its general art style, the April race swap shenanigans, I guess I'll call it. I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest fan of the Turtles or anything. I've had kind of an experience with the Ninja Turtles, actually. Because up until, like, last year, I hadn't even seen any of the 80s cartoon. So I had, like, next to no knowledge, really, of Ninja Turtle stuff. I did, however, watch the second Michael Bay live-action movie. And it was something. It was indeed something. It was either that, or watch the Angry Birds movie. And the more I think about it, and having actually watched both current Angry Birds movies, because I don't know if the third one's out yet. I don't know if I'm going to watch that one when it comes out. Not going to be a major priority. But having actually watched the Angry Birds movie, I have determined that I made a big mistake that day. That movie came out back in the era where video game adaptations were kind of iffy. They finally got a bit of a groove with the Sonic movies and Detective Pikachu and all that. That's when the video game movies started becoming, you know, good. But the first Illumination Mario movie was kind of fun. Don't like the Galaxy movie as much. That one's a downgrade in my eyes. The first one was fun though. I mean, they're both fun. I did like Galaxy, but the first one was definitely the better movie. Mainly because maybe half of it didn't feel like filler. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely did make a big mistake that day. I should have just watched the Angry Birds movie. Because the Angry Birds movie has made a bit of a redemption arc online. And I see it. And I actually find it really funny. And I get it. It's also just, you know, a better movie than Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Not like that's a high bar to clear, but, you know. Watching everything is fine. I will say this. I like the first one more than the second one. Second one's still pretty good, I think. First one's better. But, like, I think it was back in the era where we kind of just dismissed it originally. Because it was a movie based on a freaking mobile app when mobile games were actually a big deal and weren't incredibly, I guess you could say, consumer sloth. Microtransaction ad-riddled hellscape. It was back before those days. And then, again, video game adaptations didn't exactly have the best movies. So, a lot of people, I think, have kind of brushed it off. Or just generally hated on it. And nowadays, the internet's had a major redemption arc over it, especially now that the third one's about to come out. If it hasn't already, maybe it already has, I don't know. I haven't been following that too much. Well, yeah. It's fun. And definitely better than live-action Ninja Turtles. To this day, I still have not watched the first live-action Ninja Turtles movie. From the Michael Bay series of Nor have I watched the actual live-action Ninja Turtles movies that people actually like. So my entire knowledge of Ninja Turtles comes from the second Michael Bay movie, having now watched a decent chunk of the 80s cartoon, and random reviews from watching Phelan. Because he's a Turtles fan. He talks about Ninja Turtle a lot. And how Next Mutation is absolute dog shit. Anyway. I forgot why I even brought this up to begin with. I don't know how I got here. This is what happens. I have ventured into tangents unknown, and now I've completely lost the plot. I think seeing all of these weird worm bug things kind of getting to me. And none of them have sparkled. Oh god! My shiny luck is gone! Is this the right power? Yeah! Where are they? Where's the shiny? Hello? Shiny? Hello? Where are you? Why aren't you only use sparkly? Where is the pink? Am I doing something wrong? Hello? 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 I got that bit from Distractable stuck in my head because you may have noticed, but Twitch has kind of collapsed in on itself today. Because I was watching Wanye and Zazu. Wanye was teaching Zazu how to do Ratatouille speedrunning, and I got tuned in for the last hour of that. But after he completed a run that I watched, they started like really early because Zazu likes to stream for a long time. So I didn't catch like the first majority of that stream. But first majority of it. I missed like the first 4 hours. But like whatever. VODs exist. Twitch started having a massive meltdown. People are fun enough also blaming GTA for this. But Twitch, I don't think is even fully recovered from it just completely collapsing in on itself. So the last like 40 minutes of that stream was us laughing and everything going to shit, chat breaking, everything just turning off. The stream was still running, but if you dared to refresh, you weren't able to watch anymore because you just wouldn't be able to connect. So I was stuck in like a weird ARG scenario where I couldn't send chat, and I was just sending in screenshots of the broken website while watching the stream. I was just posting broken website images in the Wanye Discord. So he's just reacting to those and committing those to Zazu the entire time. And I was just reminded of the moment Distractable, I think, where if I remember correctly, Markiplier accidentally kicks his router, which is under his computer. And it turns off his internet, so he like disconnects from Discord. So Bobby and I are laughing at the frozen image, not fully realizing that Mark is gone, and you know he's realizing that they're gone because they're not saying anything. He's just like, hello, 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 and then he gets his internet back, and then he does it again. That's how it felt, cause like half of my chat messages wouldn't go through, and eventually just gave up and wouldn't send chat messages to begin with. Channel points disabled. The profile picture just got deleted. So, like, Zazu had the basic placeholder image. It acted like I unfollowed him, even though I definitely didn't. Couldn't see viewer count. Couldn't see total lifetime. Navigating the site just broke. It was a disaster, and it was very funny, and we all had a big laugh about it. Wanya compared it to an ARG. It was great. Good times were had by all except for Twitch staff and anyone wanting to give a shit about GTA 6, and I'm surprised people did. Anyway, I gotta catch up on chat now. Second one surprisingly largely better received over Better 1 of our Park is number 1 rated movie until Sonic 3 happened. Fair enough, I guess. I think I just generally ended up liking the first Angry Birds movie more. Yeah, 2's not bad. I'm not gonna act like Angry Birds 2 is bad. But, like, I think I just generally liked the first movie more. And again, 2 definitely does have its moments. Don't know how 3's gonna compare, but I'm not gonna make a huge effort to go see it when it comes out. You wanna know what I am gonna try to see when it comes out? And it's gonna be pretty soon. Coyote vs. Acme. It's finally coming out. And I've heard nothing but good things from all the different reviews and everything. People seeing early screenings and all that. So I'm pretty excited. It's kind of the same deal that happened with the Day the Earth blew up. The 2D animated thing. It was kind of bad to just kind of boil it down to that, but like, Warner Brothers has not been treating their movies very well, and they've been trying to cancel them for tax write-offs, and I think we had those 2 Looney Tunes movies. We had, I want to say, the Batgirl show, and I want to say we lost a Scooby-Doo Christmas special or something. Because they just wrote that whole thing off for tax write-offs. I don't know why. Now, a smaller company called Ketchup Entertainment was like, hey, we'll just buy the distribution rights for these Looney Tunes movies. You're not going to do anything with them. And they're like, fine. And then, of course, they had, like, no marketing budget for the first one. We didn't do that well in the box office, but, of course, I wanted to support them. They had a proper physical release, so I have the Blu-ray of the movie, and it's a very good Looney Tunes movie. It was nice to see them on the big screen. That hasn't happened in years. And then, Coyote vs. Acme gained infamy during that whole thing when that was first starting. So I have no doubt that's going to do a lot better in the box office. Especially because, you know, Day the Earth Blew Up was a good movie. And now people know that Ketchup Entertainment can be trusted. And there's a bigger marketing budget. And the person in charge of the social media is doing a fantastic job. I have higher hopes. I have higher hopes that Coyote vs. Acme will do well. And I want to go see it. And I'm going to make sure that happens. Ketchup Entertainment does good work. Just saving these Warner Brothers films from utter destruction for stupid monetary corpo reasons. Maybe Warner Brothers will finally get the message. Of course, there's also a part of me that's expecting to see a fairly empty movie theater again, because, like, I don't live in, like, the most populated area, so with that and the low marketing budget. I think when I watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, I want to say it was just me and like a small family, and that was it. And that was like the one showing they did that day. So, yeah. Now, granted, for stuff with actual marketing, with way more showtimes, yeah, I'll get into more crowded theaters. I don't think I've ever been in one where I've had the entire theater fill up before. Even with stuff like Mario, or like the utter empty space that was there for that movie. I'm hoping that there's gonna be a lot more, I guess, activity with Kaede vs. Acme. Even that one's the one that was kind of the poster child for the whole debacle. And again, now they have a proper marketing budget, it feels like. So, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it, and I'm gonna get the Blu-ray when that comes out. And I am very happy that Ketchup Entertainment exists. And maybe, this shouldn't have to be said, but apparently it needs to. Destroying works of art before anyone has a chance to even get to admire them, just for the sake of a fucking tax write-off, is bad. Just because you're not going to be able to make a whole extended universe for the whole thing doesn't mean you should destroy it. And I don't know what they were thinking. There was a whole part of it where they were like, "Oh, we destroyed Kaede vs. Acme. It's gone. Don't even think about it anymore. We moved on." Now look where we are. The movie's coming out tomorrow, I believe. Early screenings and review stuff notwithstanding, but like, in terms of a general release, it comes out tomorrow. And Warner Brothers told us they destroyed the fucking thing. Could be the case with that freaking Scooby-Doo special and Batgirl, but like, at least we're able to save the Looney Tunes stuff, which you'd think would be one of their big things at Warner Brothers, considering that's the thing that put them on the map. But they've been kind of showing general disrespect to Looney Tunes for a while. Outside of, like, remastering their old stuff, I suppose. They do a good job with that, I guess. I can't fault them in that regard. But, like... And... Man... Honestly, a lot of animated stuff from like Warner Bros. And all that has been treated like absolute dog shit. Like, remember when HBO Max, when it first rebranded to Max, they were advertising all the animated cartoon stuff was all on there? And the whole billboard of all these different characters from like Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network and all that? I don't think any of those characters are on HBO Max anymore. And they have since rebranded back. More of them have shown up on Tubi as of late. Which is really funny to me. I like Tubi. As a guy who likes physical media, I think a free ad-supported streaming service is like a runner-up, I suppose, for media consumption in my eyes. Because, like, A, I'm not paying constantly increasing streaming rates for, like, one show. And second, if I see a thing on Tubi and I watch some of it and I like it, I can then go and get it physically in most circumstances. And of course, I get to watch all the funny slop stuff. And we finally got a shiny! But yeah, Tubi's a fun experience. And, makes me happy. I still check in on it every now and again, just to see what's on there. And they got a lot of the old Cartoon Network stuff on there. fact, I think that's how I watched the first Angry Birds movie for the first time, and now I own it physically. I practice what I preach. Free rental? And then I get to buy and own the thing? I'm like physical media after the fact, if I really like it? So I can watch it whenever I want, regardless of internet connection? Hooray! Like, that's something that's really nice about Tubi as well, because like a lot of big stuff is actually on that. So like I can watch it, and if I want to watch it more in the future, I can just keep my eyes out for something on a thrift store, or I can buy a physical copy some other way. And it just works out. It's like a whole try before you buy scenario. Except you get to watch the whole thing instead of like 5 minutes and just hope to God it works based on that. They also like, for a time, I think it's still the case, they had some of the Pokemon stuff on there as well because of Legends ZA coming out. They had a solid chunk of it too, mostly Gen 1 and Gen 6. A little Gen 5 sprinkled in. I don't know if they still have a lot of that stuff anymore because it's been almost a year since ZA came out, and now Disney has the broadcast rights to the Pokemon anime, which they've been airing Season 1 on Disney XD all the time. So that's a thing now. That's pretty cool. But like, they have a lot of 4Kids dubs actually. They have Pokemon, they have Sonic X, probably forgetting a couple. I'm just saying, the day they give us some form of re-release of Kirby Right Back At You, that's gonna be heaven on earth, man. That's gonna be heaven on earth. Like, they already have the Geek Nintendo shows. That's step 1. They have 4Kids dubs from around that same era. That's step 2. They have put animated series that have been neglected by the original holders on their site. So I was just mentioning the HBO Max thing. That's step 3! They could do it. They could do it. If Nintendo wasn't fucking gatekeeping, we could have the full English dub of Right Back At Ya. Again. I don't want to go on a rant about this again, but like, you know, it's gotta happen at some point. Maybe a physical re-release with Discotech. They do a good job. It wouldn't be as extravagant as like the Japanese Blu-ray set, but like, it's better than what we have now. You know? It'd be nice. Probably just, there'll be nothing more than a dream. I think I'm the only one who actually really cares about the English dub of the Kirby anime. Considering every time I bring it up, like, people are always just shocked at how poorly the series really has been handled. Shiny! Now that I'm not doing the whole little circle thing that I tried doing before that apparently used to work, now it's just going better. Now I get multiple shinies in one sandwich again. What a turn of events. All I have to do is talk about the animation industry and things that need to get re-released that haven't gotten the re-releases they deserve. And these big redemption arcs and these wins. You know, that brings the shinies out. Apparently Dudunsparce. I think shinies done I think Giant Dunsparce just likes talking about animation, getting the respect it deserves. Dunsparce is pro art. Oh, man. Yeah, jokes aside, it would be great to have a proper release of Right Back At You again. I talk as if it's ever happened, but it really hasn't, has it? Because, like, I've brought it up before, I want to do a big, like, retrospective thing, kind of like putting reviews, where I go over the entirety of Kirby Right Back At You, and, of course, you know, bring the lost media stuff to the forefront. The poor re-release handling, I guess, that Nintendo's been doing with it over the past couple decades. And the utter jealousy of Japan for their version, the original version of the anime, getting a re-release. And of course, not even getting subtitles, because how dare the international fans get anything? We have to rely on incomplete fan subs. Like, I never got around to doing the whole thing because it was just way too much scope for my technical prowess and capabilities. And the lack of hard drive space. but yeah, that's, a lot of that research, I suppose, has not gone to waste. It has not gone to waste. I still have a lot of the random assets I made for that, too. Like, I made a really basic grid where it showed, like, how each individual episode was re-released in terms of the English dub in Japanese order for consistency. For easy access, I suppose. And, like, I've brought it out a few times in Discord servers and whatnot, and they're like, holy shit, it's been that bad? Really? Like, I always amaze people with that, because they just think, oh, we found Shell Shocked back in, like, what, 2015? That means the entire series is archived. Who cares that a lot of it's stuck in VHS recording quality and is a little bit iffy? Who cares if multiple scenes from the ends of episodes have been trimmed off by accident because the only surviving recordings we have just ran out of tape at the end? It's like, it's still fully complete. It's fine! Meanwhile, all 99 episodes of the Italian dub are available in roughly DVD quality minus bitrate issues. In full. Their archive's complete. Why can't we get that even? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous? The fact that the game just froze up there. What the fuck? Talking about how this game was a dumpster fire in its own right. My god, it still is. Band-Aid fix and all. But yeah, I still have a little bit of that stuff from when I first tried the project. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna guess... bold and timid. Direct opposites. Quiet and... I got timid! Let's go! Got a mark. Not a good mark. But I got one of them! I guessed one of them correctly. I did it! I did it! Finally! Only took over 100 of them. Oh, man. Anyway, check your VHS tapes if you're recording stuff from that era, because you might actually have a piece of lost media on your hands. And I care about that sort of thing, and Nintendo's not gonna give a shit about it, clearly. There's no hope in that regard. We're never getting a re-release of that damn dub. It's cursed forever. 115. No. 116. No. Speaking of things that may never happen. Alright, let's go ahead and put you in the proper box. Right, L button doesn't work. I turned it off. Then I gotta scroll manually. Where did I put my Dudunsparces? Here we go. I can put you in the proper spots for the most part. And boom! Done! Save! There we go. All's good. Alright, let's see. We got a couple more sandwiches we can do. But yeah, did you? I know I've mentioned this, but like, did you know that a large chunk of the re-release material for Kirby Right Back At Ya has been exclusively on proprietary streaming services and PAL regions only? I cry a little inside. Some of those tears escape. And then my face gets all wet with despair. I'm playing it up for a joke, obviously, but it does kind of hurt a little bit. One of my big goals, actually, for my thrift store hunting, I suppose, so I still go thrifting, is to find a copy of a Kirby Right Back At Ya DVD somewhere in the wild. I don't want to just cheapen out and just buy a copy off of Amazon or something. I want to find it at a thrift store or a flea market. No luck so far. I'm not surprised. But one day it will happen, and it will be the biggest find I have ever found in my thrift store journeys. And I will be the happiest man alive. Mainly because it's Kirby, and it's Kirby. I love Kirby. Everyone loves Kirby. If you don't like Kirby, if you actively hate Kirby, like, you're a monster. Like, legitimately. Kirby is the most unhateable character in all of fiction, and I stand by that. Like, I may hype up Pikmin a lot, but Kirby might be my favorite Nintendo series. And in a way, it's technically a third party because it's HAL Labs. But it's a big exclusive thing with Nintendo, so... And I think even the production company that they made exclusively for the anime, Warp Star Incorporated, I think has been renamed and actively it just straight up is a Nintendo subsidiary now. Like, it has Nintendo branding and all that, so like, technically it is first party in a way. So why the fuck can't we get the English dub re-release, guys? Come on. People were hyped when the Japanese Blu-ray set was announced, and you included the first dubbed episode as a bonus feature. Come on! I know you have them! You have the English episodes! Give them now! We're never gonna get that. We never will. I don't want to accept it, but it's just... We're never gonna see it again. Then again, if MeTV Tunes can bring the lost episodes of the Wacky World of Tex Avery out of lost media hell, then I guess anything's fucking possible. I don't know. It's all just a dream, really. Why expect anything more? But it's got my friend from the Toho, so I feel like it's relevant to bring up that you can now order a physical PC copy of Toho, which... You can right now order a physical PC copy of Toho 6, which is from 2002. Oh, look at that. It's the same year as the Kirby thing. Wow, that's a wild coincidence there. Oh, look, a shiny! I will say, congrats to you Toho fans out there for getting a proper, like, re-released with proper localization of a lot of the games. Too bad it was hidden away in the Japanese Direct a couple months ago. But, you know, that's always good. We love making shit more accessible. We love it. So, I should really just make a list of things I want to find at a thrift store. Like, right off the bat immediately. Kirby right back at you at the time. And of course, more Game Wave stuff is always nice, even though I still can't play the darn thing because I'm still to get the capacitor replaced. Just haven't gotten around to it. And I don't know how to do that shit myself, and I don't want to trust myself with a soldering iron with no experience. So I don't want this thing to just be fried forever. Like, a slightly busted old capacitor can be replaced and everything's fine. That's not a problem. I'd rather a professional do it because I don't trust myself with hardware. So, like, there you go. Any DVD game of some sort as well would be a pretty high find. Doesn't have to be a major thing like seeing it, though I do want to get the DVD version of Atmosphere one day. Because that seems like a lot of fun. Don't know if my mom would really approve of it that much, considering its theming, but I think there's a technical aspect, which is kind of cool. Probably fun to bring out during get-togethers and whatnot. But again, because of the whole spooky Halloween-esque theming, I don't think Mom would like it much. Shiny again! Wow! We're on a roll today now. Took you a little bit, but did it. Worked out. So, as soon as outside the first 5 games, you're on a weird old Japanese PC OS. Or pre-206 reboot are all available for physical release to my knowledge right now. Nice. You love to see it. We love physical media. You know, I often see these fear mongers. Honestly, probably a lot of overlap between ball and gun gamers and digital media absolutists, I guess. A lot of fear monger about disc rot. And yes, it is a problem, but only if you don't take care of your damn discs. Like, my copy of Sonic Colors doesn't work properly anymore because I ended up losing it, and it got stored in a moist area by accident. Because, well, let's just say that our old house had some leakage issues. Some of the rain got in. The game mostly works, but can't play Game Land, can't play the final boss. It's a shame. That's just because I didn't take care of that disc well enough. Meanwhile, I have a copy of Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventures or something that had the first 3 Wallace and Gromit things on and a few of the... I want to say it also had a few of the contraption shorts on it as well. That DVD is like... Let's see. I think that came out around the turn of millennia. So that was around 2000. That came out. Disc still works perfectly. So as long as you actually take care of your physical media, it's not gonna die on you. It's not gonna be like buying a digital game on PS3, where if you're not playing your game for 3 years because you moved on to a different console, your freaking entire account gets deleted and all of those games are lost with no refunds. Digital media is totally a scam. That's all it fucking is. I'm saying as a guy who's playing a digital version of a game right now, because I want to play Gen 9 as soon as fucking possible. Not making that mistake again! I got ZA physically, goddammit! I have learned, to some extent, patience. It gets tested during Mario Kart Time Trials, and I have not accomplished that in any regard. But, you know, it's fine! It's fine! Get off my lawn! And other old man grumble nonsense and stuff. Back in my day, we actually had little colorful books that came with our games that told us how to do the things. Now they give you on-screen stuff that never goes away and makes replaying games a massive pain in my ass. I know how to play your game, but don't want to keep mashing through a bunch of text boxes. Just let me play the fucking game. I'm old. Whatever. Anywho. Yeah, I need to make like a proper list. I don't think there's a definitive list out there of like DVD games, but I'll look up what I can and then try to make like a list of ones I want to find. And then I want to see if I can get like a list going of like movies I want to have physical. Like I want to have the rest of the Back of the Future trilogy on physical. I have a copy of the second one. I still have not watched the third one. But like, even if I could just find a copy of the first movie on DVD or Blu-ray or something, that'd be fine. Love that the full trilogy though. Preferably with extra bonus features. I like behind-the-scenes stuff. Even as a young one, I would always turn on the DVD commentaries of my favorite movies and listen to the director talk about how he made them. I don't even think they do those anymore. I'm a Deltarune fan since Chapter 1, so I have very much no patience myself. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah, DVD games are just such a weird piece of gaming history to me. Because it's like, okay, we need to make it... Oh my god. It had to happen at some point, right? Count it early. But like... How do I put this? There was a point in gaming history where, you know, obviously the PS2 made DVD somewhat more acceptable, for sure. But, like, DVD was just the big format that people were adopting for media. And, you know, because of how DVD worked, they were able to do stuff like interactive menus and whatnot. And you get some stuff like family films or kids films where they put like little games on there. And then there are some companies that are like, wait a minute. Why don't we just take that idea with interactive menus and the little mini games and just keep pushing it further? So you get like full-on games on DVD. And then you get some like Atmosphere, which started off as a VHS game actually. You get some like Atmosphere or Seen It, where they do like a physical board game element with it too. I have a copy of like Trivial Pursuit, Pop Culture. What? I don't know if it was Volume 2 or something, but like I have a physical version of Trivial Pursuit Pop Culture DVD game. It plays a lot like Seen It actually. It's really cool. It's really neat. A lot of it's definitely dated as of now because it's pop culture based, and that thing came out in like what, the early 2000s. Definitely feels like it. It's like it's definitely out of date. I don't think it holds up as much as Seen It does. But you know, it's just kind of neat. And then you have stuff like the Be Equal games they did with DreamWorks, where they're like full licensed games that work with special DVD tech. I found one game that Be Equal did that wasn't DreamWorks related, just by random happenstance one day. They made a Bible DVD game that plays like those. So now I have a fucking Bible game made by devs who also made games for Over the Hedge and Madagascar and Shrek, and it's a super weird thing. It's just kind of a neat little novelty of sorts. It's so goofy. The fact that this exists. And of course stuff like the Game Boy is kind of an extension of that, where all those games are basically running on a powered-up DVD player. Which, you know, isn't that impressive. Understandably. But it's like this neat little thing, you know? This little oddity in gaming history. There was a fucking Tomb Raider DVD game where they took... What was it called? It's the one on, I think, PS2 that was really bad. I think it was the 6th one? They did a version of that where it was basically like a freaking Let's Play of the game. Like, there were just screen recordings of the game itself, just with DVD QTEs and menus in it. And it's the stupidest thing, but like, I guess it works. It is so stupid. It shouldn't exist, but it does. It's just this weird little thing. I don't have it. Don't know if I'd be too interested in it. Oh my god! 2 fully evolved ones in a row. Oh my god. Well then. But like, DVD games are just weird novelty. Like, they existed mostly for game shows, honestly. And they were made during like this little bit where they were super excited about the ideas of the new interactive media. And you would always be like budget things, like you would have stuff that either relied more on a physical component, like Cena, or something a lot more basic that maybe more general audiences that aren't used to video games could get into because they're all just, you know, menu-based. Very simple. Like, surely my mom could play some of these, right? I mean, she can't play Kirby, but, like, surely she can handle a DVD remote. I gotta give her some credit. Come on. I gotta give her something. But like, I'm not going into a DVD game expecting some like huge, spectacular thing. Like, you're never gonna see like a Breath of the Wild scope thing on a DVD player. Like, that's never happening. But like, for these little things that they did, for like these home versions of friggin' game shows that, let's face it, you probably also played a lot on like other consoles. But like, you know, you don't need a game console to play a DVD. So you just stick into a DVD or Blu-ray player and there you go. And I kind of wish they kept expanding on that, but they never did. Like, as the DVD age wrapped up and as Blu-ray started, you'd think they would have, like, started making Blu-ray games in a similar vein. And with Blu-rays having more space and more processing power, you could maybe make a proper game out of Blu-ray stuff, right? At least it'd be less clunky than a DVD. Wouldn't be fully reliant on menus. And yet, no, they never did. I don't think there's a single Blu-ray game out there. Blu-ray, like, bonus features, maybe. It's like I have Alvin the Chipmunks the Squeakquel on Blu-ray, and it comes with a little thing where you could take screenshots of the movie and make your own, like, album covers with it. And it was really dumb. But, like, I don't know if you can really do that on DVD so much. Not really. Not the way they handled it. Kind of neat. But that was just a bonus feature. Like, imagine like a fully fledged Blu-ray game would be like. And no one ever took advantage of it. Ever. Like, I'm not gonna act like DVD games were like a major seller or anything. They were definitely more obscure. I'm probably the only person who even cares about a lot of them. And yet, they just fascinate me, you know? And I just find that kind of concept like a super accessible, basic video game you freaking stick in a machine you normally watch movies in. Like, the idea of that is just so quaint, I guess. Like, I have to respect it. So I'm trying to find as many as I can, but of course, like, they weren't super popular. Not many of them really exist. I've gotten all the ones I've found so far. Like, I maybe have, like, 8 games right now. When this sandwich wraps up in 10, 11 minutes, like, I'll probably just go over what DVD games I have. Mostly from memory, mind you, because I don't want to freaking get up and get my DVDs right now. That's not the point of this. We're meant to be getting Dudunsparce, but I want to focus a bit more on this right now. So I can kind of have my brain relatively off for the moment. Because that's one thing about this. My brain kind of turns off and I start rambling. It's perfect for this kind of thing, you know? None of these streams are really independent in their own way. You can watch one of these and then just skip to the day where I actually get a friggin' Shiny 3 segment, and there you go. You have all the entertainment value. I spent like half an hour talking about vaguely current events, and then it's back to the DVDs. It's back to Kirby. It's back to complaining about things being on loop for 2 hours. Nothing ever changes. But yeah, it's a thing. That's just me. Me and my little brain stuck in a loop for all eternity. I suppose. But yeah. What else can I talk about? I don't want to spend too long on it, but we've had a bit of a rough week in terms of celebrities. We lost a few good ones. 3 days in a row. Because we lost Dolly Parton. Mom was really bummed about that. And then I forget his name, but today we lost the guy who voiced Optimus Prime. Or was that yesterday? I think that was today. It's all happening so fast, man. It sucks. I hate it. I hate being mortal. But even then, I don't want to be immortal either, because, like, an eternity being alive just gets old. Less meaning. Blah, 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 me going all deep and everything, but, like, man, it freaking sucks. It sucks all the same. Like, there's no winning. And that's why I don't want to talk about it much. It's just gotten it down. And I don't want to come off as insensitive either, because, like, it is sad. It's like, man. wasn't... Didn't something like this happen a few years back, too? Where we had a bunch of celebrity deaths all together? Like, I want to say that was definitely, like, a few years ago when we had, like, a big stretch of them, I think. Like, I want to say that was around the time when Gilbert Gottfried passed. I can't fly. I got bunked, and now I'm down here. Where... Can I just climb up here? There we go. Yeah, I don't handle the concept of death well. And I have a hard time getting my words on this sort of thing. I don't want this to come across the wrong way. And a stream where I'm running around in circles looking for alternate color palettes of Pokemon definitely doesn't feel like the place to really talk about it much. It really doesn't. I don't want to come off as insensitive or anything. Just that's just the current events going on right now. It's just anyone got any happier topics? Go back to talking about Kirby again. Kirby always makes me happy, except for those small times where he makes me a little mad. Motion controls. Is there anything else good at Gamescom? I haven't been paying too much attention to it. I heard that the Rayman Legends remake has the Macarena as one of its music levels now. So that's a new one. That's pretty cool. I think Sonic had a thing where it's like, we're gonna see you at Gamescom, and nothing's come from that yet. I don't think. I think Gamescom's still going for a couple days, so eventually we'll see something, maybe. Like, I think it'd just be like DLC announcements for year 2 of Crossworlds, but that's a little something. I don't know. I got nothing. And this is why I don't want to do this for 2 streams in a row. So... I guess I could try to remember my DVD game collection. I was gonna wait till after the sandwich so I could focus my brain fully on it for a bit, but it's not like it's focusing on anything else, really. Ah! Hitboxes. But the one problem with being on the right on, your hitbox is larger, and hitboxes aren't exactly scaled the best anyway to begin with, so... I haven't paid too much attention, but I did encounter footage of the Mega Man game, and also an hour gameplay of Persona 4 got released. Yeah. I haven't watched too much of the gameplay footage for Dual Override. Mainly because like, even with how much I've seen, I still want to go in, like, as blind as possible. You know, kind of a similar situation to Mega Man 11 when that first came out. And that was a glorious experience. There's just something about going into a game with, like, nothing going in. And just having the time of your life. She's so So new. Like, you only have your first playthrough once, and if you get spoiled on it, then it kind of ruins it. And then, you know. Like, I went into Mario Odyssey, like, almost a year after that came out, I think. And I was avoiding spoilers like absolutely crazy for months, trying to make sure I didn't see any of it. And I think I got through with like 99% of stuff dodged. So I went in that game mostly blind, and oh my god, it was one of the most magical gaming experiences I've ever had. Like, avoiding spoilers, even for games that aren't really plot heavy, like, it makes it so much better. You know? That's why people hate when they put spoilers in thumbnails or things get leaked early. It's like, you're ruining it. You're freaking ruining it. I know some people even take a more extreme route than I do, and like, if they see something they're interested in, they just stop watching the trailers altogether. Like, they don't want to watch any trailers. With no marketing. It's like, talk about dedication. I'm like, kudos to you guys for that. I'll at least watch trailers when they come out. But, like, I usually don't delve too much further than that. Like, maybe something shows up in my feed still, but, like, as the game gets closer to launch, I'll probably start blocking terms. That's what I usually do. So that way I don't get, like, super spoiled on stuff. Like, something might still slip through the cracks anyway, but that's inevitability, I suppose. It happens. I'm honestly kind of surprised I avoided as much stuff from Mario Odyssey as I did, considering how much stuff's in that game. So, like, a lot more magical. For revival, holy hell, they're straight up just flexing what they could do with the visuals of that game. Alright, we have 4 shinies here, and 2 of them are basically wastes. Alright, nature guesses. I'm gonna go bull again. Adamant. Naive. And gentle. Timid. Naive. Relaxed. Brave. Well, I got naive, but not on the right spot. Should have said timid again. Not bad, though. Not bad, though. So I already counted the 2 evolved ones. So I gotta count the ones I'm gonna evolve now. And then counting them when I actually have the Dudunsparces themselves is good. Bag. No candy. Number 119. Nope. Sonic 3 remake got minor to moderate visual criticism in some locations. They just decided to throw everything they had at the remake for 4. Fair enough. And 120! We have gotten all the power stars in Mario 64! That's not enough. We keep going! I need to clear out more box space! Ah! Well, no, one more sandwich. Probably gonna be enough to fill in the box there, and then I gotta sort everything. Which, given the fact I'm not gonna be doing this for probably at least a couple months again. Well, I think it's kind of fair that I have plenty of time to focus on clearing out later. So, one last sandwich for tonight. So my DVD game collections, I promise I mentioned. So I have the Bible game. I have this one DreamWorks compilation one where it's like all of the DreamWorks vehicle games together. I have the original Seen It with the Warner Brothers expansion disc. I think it was originally part of a set that has its own like board and cards, but I don't have that. It was just in my copy of Seen It. I mentioned Trivial Pursuit Pop Culture Edition. I have Deal or No Deal, but it doesn't have like the actual like what's the word for it? The little like, paper inside. It doesn't have the extra stuff inside of it. It doesn't even have like the outer sleeve even. It's just like a blank box. I found another copy which has the like full set, I think, but I wasn't gonna buy the game again just for that because the game works perfectly fine without. It just looks a bit bad, and you don't have your physical scorecard, but who cares? The game keeps track anyway. I have this one base of a game which I've never heard of called the 1 vs. 100. It's a kind of trivia game, and I don't have the cards for it, I don't think. It's meant to have cards that I can show to people for the multiplayer. I don't think I have the cards. But again, you can work around that pretty easily. What else do I'm pretty sure I have like one more thing. Oh yeah, I found Family Feud. I found like an old Family Feud DVD game. I got that one because I think my mom likes that show a lot, so that might be something we break out during big events as well. I tried to get in the family to play Seen It, but like nobody here has watched enough movies. I mean, in terms of like movie watching time, they probably have enough. It's just that they don't watch those movies. They watch Hallmark crap. There's no copy and paste. You see one, you see all of them. It's stupid. And I'm just an uncultured swine, so I was just screwed from the get-go. Like, Seen It was an absolute fucking disaster. But at least I have it. It's that cute little thing that we played once, and we're never gonna touch it again. Do I have any others? I want to get the Wallace and Gromit Were-Rabbit one, because they made a DVD board game based off that movie, and I want to play that so bad. Also, I'm just a big fan of Wallace and Gromit anyway, so that would just be fun in general. I know this thing is round like the cheese we like to eat, Gromit, but this thing's too thin and shiny. I think it's a DVD. I can't do a good voice. I still want to watch the newest Wallace and Gromit thing, but it's on Netflix, and I don't want to get Netflix. I really don't. I don't think they've made a physical version of it yet. So, one day I'll watch it. One day. You can't keep Wallace and Gromit from me forever! Remakes the ability called Prime Time, which gives you extra turns. It also completely changes the battle arena while active. Like, what kind of trick room bullshit is this? Kinda neat that it's more than just visual enhancements, though. What's that? Clear effort? No way! They didn't just cobble this shit together and make you pay $60 for a remake? Wow! Overall HUD design is insane, even by the insanely high standards of the series. Again, effort. Wow. They actually give a shit? No way. In this time, during this part of the game industry's life. Wow. interesting visuals. I just can't believe it. Wow, oh my god. I'm playing it up, but that is still really cool. That is still really cool. We love effort. Yeah, I will be making a list of things I want to get at thrift stores and the DVD games and such I want to find eventually. I think it would just be kind of neat. The history of incorporating the game seems in the pause menu. Beautiful. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Too bad I'm not really a big Persona guy, so I'd freak out a lot more if I actually gave a shit about that series. But, like, good for you. I think it was Palix, I think? Someone's trying to get 1A into the Persona series. I think. Shiny! I think Wanya's played some of them by now. I have heard good things, but I think Mario and Luigi and Pokemon are enough RPGs for me. Honestly. Especially because there's always a little bit of paranoia with me where it's like, is the game that people really like, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to end up not liking it, and then I've not only wasted my money, but I've also wasted my time. And with an RPG, that's a big time investment. So, I'm a bit more cautious to it. Not to mention the fact that part of me worries that RPGs might get a little boring. I don't know. Probably just being way more overly cautious in comparison to other games, but like, I don't want to have another Monkey Ball scenario where people are like, we like Monkey Ball. I'm like, okay, I haven't played Monkey Ball, new one's coming, I'm gonna try it, and then I'm like, ooh, I don't like it. So I feel like you just feel a lot worse with an RPG, you know? Quite comparable to Pokemon in some aspects of gameplay. Well, it probably doesn't have the collecting aspect that Pokemon does. That's one of the major draws for me. I like collecting things. You know this by how much I talk about my thrift store finds and whatnot. I just like collecting things and filling out a little checklist and all that. Pokemon scratches that itch perfectly for me. I love filling in the Pokedex, man. Still have to in this game, because I never did get the version exclusive other Paradox Pokemon for the DLC stuff. So I don't have Raging Bolt or Gouging Fire yet. I think we were going to set up a whole trade thing for that at some point, we just never got around to it. I'd still be up for that at some point. Like, I still haven't completed the Pokedex in this yet, because of the version exclusive stuff. It's all legendaries. So. It has the collecting aspect? What? No way. How does it work in that? So I doubt it's like this, where it's like, oh, you find a thing, and then you throw a ball at a thing, and you catch a thing. It's not Pal World, where it's very clearly kind of a knockoff. It shows. I'm tired of thinking otherwise. You can edit some designs. Shiny! You can edit some of the designs in order to make it a little bit less bad, but then you have a freaking, like, remix of Kyogre that looks like a regional form more than its own unique thing. When the game actually gets a full release version. And then, yeah, people have been like, but it's you can't do unique stuff with the whale because Pokemon's already did it. As if there aren't like 3 different Pokemon whales that look vastly different from one another. Well, Palworld is like a palette-swapped Kyogre with a big ring around its head, I guess. I understand why the Pokemon Company and Nintendo sued, but they're doing it wrong. It feels like it low-key feels like one of those like mobile knockoffs. I can see why they were a little bit apprehensive to the idea. Not saying it's a good present to keep doing that sort of thing, but like, I get it. I bonked again. I know I shouldn't be judging Palworld of that stuff alone, but like, look, it's probably better than Gen 9, but again, like the other comparison I made earlier, a very low bar to clear. But still, it gives rip-off vibes. I don't want to say it's entirely unfair either. Just you can fill out the Persona Compendium. I don't know what that means. Is it like a costume thing? Like I know these characters have like their own like super powered forms. But like I don't fully get it. Honestly, I think a lot of the stuff I've heard about Persona mixes in with Danganronpa. I think I've got the two blended together in my head. I don't know. I don't know. You can obtain various personas by fighting enemies, and you can fuse them together to make stronger ones. Huh. Seems neat. Seems neat. I tried. That was a weird little thing that happened there. Like my body wanted to yawn, but it stopped as I was speaking. It's like cutting myself off mid-word also cut off the yawn. More so like the yawn that didn't even properly come out cut off the word. I think I just need more sleep. I think I just need to go to bed. It's 3:30. This will end our broadcast day. Now go to bed! I want to get... Now, I'm on this subject again. I want to get Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension on DVD, because I think it's a slightly extended cut from TV. Plus, I don't have that movie physically anyway, so it'd just be a nice get regardless, but like... I like Phineas and Ferb. I think Candace has like a whole song about the mysterious force in the extended cut, which is not in the TV version. That'd be kind of nice to see. Another one for the list. I still have this one list from a couple years ago when I was first doing thrift stuff, and it was like, hey, what kind of things you want me to look out for so I can become more cultured? Stop being out of the loop on fucking everything. And they're like, hey, it's all these things, and like, I checked off like 5 things. I've checked off like 5 things from that list ever. Because I have not been keeping up with it well, and even then a lot of that stuff was just kind of hard to find at a thrift store anyway. Shiny! And go! Dudunsparce is the thrifty sort, I see. I disappeared from existence! Oh god! I'm a ghost! Makes 3. So I've already filled the box, so now I gotta find some other place to put this Dudunsparce. to be clearing out space sooner than I thought. I do need to reorganize my boxes, but I just haven't been doing that lately. I've been putting it off because I haven't been playing as much. And now my freaking Mightiest Mark box is getting a bit full as well. Well, box says there's been enough for 2 of them, but like, it's getting a bit cramped, I suppose, now. So I gotta reorganize a little bit again and maybe make a 3rd box. Maybe not. I don't know how many more of these Mightiest Mark events they're gonna do. They've gotta be wrapping up one of these days, because there was a whole stretch where they redid all of the starters, so I finally got Empoleon. And then, you know, I'm hoping that maybe we get a rerun of Garchomp again, so I can get that one with my trainer ID on it, so I don't have to use the one I have at home. But, like, other than that, like, there can't be much more after they're done with King Gambit, right? Because King Gambit's the last one they announced. It's like a big Paldea celebration thing, I think. Because they had Glamora, they had Annihilate, they had... What was the last one? What was the last one they did? Farigiraf got one, and now they're doing King Gambit. So it's like a whole Paldea celebration thing. I'm thinking it might be the end after this, but I'm not entirely sure. Just have to wait for announcements, I guess. So I thought they were going to be done after they did all the reruns of the starters, and then they brought in Magikarp for some reason. So now you can have Magikarp and Gyarados both with the Mightiest Mark, without needing to evolve the Magikarp. So that's cool. You could technically also have all the evolutions with the Mightiest Mark, because they gave you an Eevee you can evolve. And then same with Pikachu and Raichu. I'm just not evolving them. I know some people probably have, and that's pretty cool. If I want to have a true complete set, I gotta transfer the evolved ones, but... Nah! Nah! That's too much effort. It's hard enough getting Mightiest Marks of events going by, you know? That's why the reruns are so good. Also, they shouldn't be doing them in the first place. Or just have them be events you can have naturally, like randomly, like one spawns on a Saturday, like every other week or something. But like, man, you gotta have online connectivity to force you to get a membership that costs $20 a year. It's still better than the competition, but you know, not optimal. Online used to be free, damn it. Ammo! Technically, I've already said that. Like, some personas with them, it can be swapped between. They're primarily preset personas with more specific loadouts. Okay. So you can have a full team, but they're more preset. I see. Longer than the sandwich. 13 minutes, roughly. It's fine. It's funny, after I stopped doing this route where I go around that one big area, I've been getting a lot more shinies. It's almost like the guides are lying. Never trust guides. Don't trust people on the internet. They lie to you about your favorite and not so favorite video games. Trust no one. Figure the shit out yourself like we had to back in the good old years of 2 decades ago. Can you tell I've gone a slight bit insane? Dudunsparce will do that to you. Especially when we get so friggin' cramped here, oh my god. Maybe I shouldn't have brought the mole for this, because Mold Breaker keeps going off as well. I keep getting caught so many times. It's a whole minefield of Dudunsparce out here, man! There's too many of them! Ah! I mean, this is good for getting shiny spawns, but bad for moving around! This is reminding me of when I used to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would like people would often be like, "Oh, Baby Park's so basic and boring. Why is it here?" And then I'm like, "Dude, I played it with bananas only. It's a whole different experience." By lap 3, it's a whole minefield of bananas, and no one could properly drive anymore. And that was the best time I ever had playing that track ever. Like, not even the trick variants in Mario Kart Tour, which dies in a month. Not even the extra variants in Mario Kart Tour can really save that track, I guess. But, like, making a fucking minefield you can barely drive through, something about that makes the experience so much more funny. Like, everything's normal and basic for Baby Park, like you normally expect, and then a couple laps in, and suddenly there's like 50 bananas on the track. It's like, oh my god! Seriously, if you haven't tried playing that track with just bananas only, try it. It is wild. Nope, I'm out of things to talk about again. We'll probably type another big paragraph about Persona, so I'm kind of waiting on that. I know your viewing conditions aren't necessarily optimal. I don't think we've had a time where your phone actually properly died, did it? Maybe it did for like a little bit, I just didn't notice, but like, I don't think there's been like a huge time where your phone gave out. Huh. Things really are different after all. You had a portable charger on hand. You came prepared. Good for you. You did it. To be fair, I do carry a portable charging bank everywhere I go with my phone because my phone doesn't have the best battery life. It hasn't gone to a point yet where it'll just shut off or anything, despite how long I've had it. But like, if I'm playing Pokemon Go on it, it doesn't really last more than half an hour anymore. Which, like, yeah. I should probably get a new phone one of these days, but, like, as long as it still works, I'm gonna frickin' use it. There's nothing wrong with that. Kind of the way my family is. We don't really replace things or get new things till the other one breaks. Like, game consoles are the one exception, but that's because of the exclusive stuff. Like, I don't really think I'm missing out on much by still using iPhone 8. You know? It's not as good performance, and some apps aren't updated. Like, are updated to the point where the iOS version is too outdated, but, like, phone still runs. I can still play some games on it. It's not been fully, I guess, outmoded, I guess the word for it. Like, it's not completely useless yet. It's not basically just a freaking brick. I can still use it. So I'm gonna use it as long as I can, and when that thing finally gives out, I mean, that's the point where I swap, and I'm gonna be okay with that. I suppose you're kind of in the same boat as well, given your battery troubles. Gotta work what you got, and then eventually, you know, it'll just be done permanently, and then you're forced to upgrade. Or maybe you get so fed up you just upgrade anyway. Or maybe it's a cost thing. I understand that newer iPhones are even more expensive than this one was. So. a rough economy, greedy corporations, and things getting way more expensive than they have any right to be. I don't know if things are really going to get better in that regard. I think our money is just going to be kind of worthless forever, and they're never going to compensate for that effectively. And prices are going to keep going up, and my mom's going to fully blame the minimum wage and not literally anything else going on, like the fact that we keep printing money like crazy and have been since the pandemic started, but, you know... See, the president's doing a great job. See, the prices aren't going up as fast. They're still going up, dingus! I don't want them to go up anymore! It's the wrong direction! Turn around! I'm being advertised like $8 value meals from McDonald's. That shit should cost $2! I want my dollar menu back! Oh, but you're just budgeting poorly. Just stop buying coffees and everything. As if I'm buying coffee from Starbucks anyway. Bleh. You just gotta budget better. Just ignore the fact that beef's doubled in price for the past couple of years. No, it's fine. Hate the modern economy. Oh, you can't afford to have a proper meal? Well, just buy ramen then, stupid. Come on. Ramen's plenty. The stereotypical poor man's food of the modern age. Can you tell I'm bitter? Can you tell I'm fucking bitter? I know I'm never gonna be able to afford a house. I'm gonna live with my mom for like probably forever at this point. I'm just gonna have to friggin' deal with it, I guess. Right about these campings, not right about this, yes. That stupid thing. I forget where that's from. That keeps showing up on my feed every now and again. It low-key annoys me. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I think the dub sounds bad. Sounds oddly sarcastic. Longer. 2 minutes. I can hold that for 2 more minutes. It's fine. Everything's fine. Well, this has been quite the stream. We're now winding down, I suppose. And next time. Originally I was going to play Mega Man 7, but I think I'm going to change my plans to play Mega Man 8 next stream instead. Mainly because Astroman's shown up again in Dual Override, so I think it's only fair we play his origin game. I wouldn't mind. Here's the thing, as much as I shit on the fact that Mega Man was stuck in Legacy Collection hell for so long, I wouldn't mind a Legacy Collection that was kind of like Sonic Gems Collection. Whereas it's just a bunch of the random crap that doesn't really fit into anything else. Like, you give us Mega Man in base, you give us, network transmission. You give us... what else? You can maybe slap the Legends games in there, but I think Tron Bond would be better there. Because Adventures of Tron Bond's kind of a neat little game. The Mega Man Misfits collection, I think would be kind of fun. But honestly, I think we're pretty burnt out on legacy collections right now. So honestly, moving on is fine for the time being. They can go back and release everything else later, but I think we're in a good enough spot where we can just focus on the new shit. Give us Dual Override, aka Mega Man 12. Give us X9. Just like, there you go. Should have been getting new stuff sooner than this, but you know what? Better late than never. I'm excited. Now all I need is for like next year to give us an announcement of Pikmin 5 and I will be so happy. Because my dormant franchise I'm a fan of will no longer be officially dormant. And it won't just be like a one-hit wonder, like some random point like 8 years later and yay! Anyway, I have thoroughly spent my mind juices, my brain has been thoroughly expended. Let's get back up to the surface of all of our Dudunsparces and call it a night. And then we don't touch this again for a solid month. And we just have to accept that. And hopefully by next month I'll have more Salty Herba Mystica, so that way I can keep going for more than 30 minutes. Yay! I need to sit down and just farm them again, but like, the problem is because of the sandwiches I have to make, I'm left with so much sour I can't use. Because either it's use the old tofu burger method and avoid sour altogether, or have a build that uses sour Herba Mystica, but I'm forced to use salty with it, and I'm running low on salty. So, like, it's a horrible balancing act, and I can't keep up. I can't keep up with it. Not important right now, though. What's important now is we have 3 more Dudunsparces. And I'm going to do nature guesses. I'm going to do timid again, because it keeps showing up. I'm going to go adamant. And I'm going to go quirky. Naughty, gentle, mild. Damn. Okay. Alright, into the bag. I gotta learn the moves first. Wait a minute. It wouldn't be a Dudunsparce stream without me forgetting that once. But at least I didn't waste a rare candy this time. Not Roost. It learns Roost at a later point than it learns Hyper Drill. But its wild levels means that it already learns Roost at this point. So, like, I had to, like, purposely scroll down a little bit because it's not at the top of the list and it irks me. My optimization! Alright, here we go. my optimization of my Dudunsparce is no! 121. No. 122. No. Okay. Now remember, Shiny Catherine, when she did this, she had 200 before she got it, so we could be here a while. Technically, we have been. It's just been spaced out so far. 123. No. Alright. That's it. That's it for tonight. We filled the box. Save our game. I'll have to clear out the boxes for next time. I think part of what I want to do is I want to have like this. I put in these last 2. Nope. You get back in the box. We have one here. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to move the mole somewhere. See, look how unorganized this whole box is. Like, look at this mess. Look at this disaster area. The boxes, we go back. It's like all these, and now I just lead with a shiny Dudunsparce, going and finding shiny Dudunsparce. That might be a funny little thing for the future, eh? Cause I've been using stuff like Iron Bundle, Excadrill. I think I had Skeletor Jet at one point. But like, how fitting that I would shiny hunt for a shiny Dudunsparce while holding on to a shiny Dudunsparce. You know? And this would be like my highest level one. This would be like a star of the whole show. Like by the end, like this is like I already have what I'm gonna keep anyway. Like prior to this. But like this would be the super special one, you know? Like I give it a nickname specifically before I send it out. Boom. Like this is gonna be our star player right here. Right here. Anyway, that's enough for stream for today. So we go ahead and just send another little buddy. There we go. Come over here. There we go. And that's gonna be it. Yeah! Oh man. So, that's gonna be it for Dudunsparce for tonight. Next stream, Mega Man 8! We've already played 9 and 10, I guess we might as well work backwards. And then we get to see Astro Man. How that happened? I can't take this anymore! So yeah, I'll see you guys for Mega Man 8. See you then. Bye-bye. 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 She's looking at you. Bye. Need the thing so it's just natural. Bye. I'm leaving. Goodbye.